time for the most motivational segment in all sports. Also time we read some viewer mail. Every day, we just get a boatload of letters. We go to the post office. Christina brings them back. She looks like Santa with a sack of letters in there. Not toys, letters. Some toys when people send them to us. I think your kids would like this. I said, what? They're 13. What's he going to do with a little train set? Dear Wilds, love the show and all of these somewhat clever bits. Wow, thank you. Have the injuries to Brou and the Ravens replaced the sandwiches bit? Thanks, Ryan and Brian. That is a good point. This is, we weren't expecting this bit to take off like it has been, but it's actually grown more popular than the sandwich bits. And of course, our crack staff is always looking to capitalize on the popularity of your acting skills. And that's why we introduced the Cowboy Brew First Aid. Bring home all the joy of First Things First. With a special Cowboy Brew First Aid kit. They are flying off.
It came in handy this week.
Yes.
The last 2 weeks, really. Yeah. You see, I'm up and at 'em. I'm all good. So.
Fantastic.
And no, I think of those bits as related.
Oh, you do?
Yeah, the whole sandwich thing that's why I put the robe on, because I made them get me their robe.
They're in the same cinematic universe.
Yeah, they're all,
like Marvel.
Good carryover.
I just haven't,
The Bruce.
The Brou universe.
Yeah.
Like Bruto is in another universe.
All right, here we go. At number 3, now to show you that the Bud list plays no favorites. There are no favoritism in the Bud list. You're going to like this, Wilds.
Great.
At number 3, even though I like Brock Purdy, Mac Jones.
What a fair Bud list.
All right, Mac Jones, smart choice to go to the Niners. Not because Brock Purdy got hurt, but to learn under Kyle Shanahan. And now that Brock did get hurt, this is your chance at redemption. Sam Darnold, Geno Smith, who's the other one? Baker Mayfield. And maybe Daniel Jones. I think the jury's still out, but those 4 guys that were left for dead, and at least 3 of them, maybe 4 of them, are now viewed as legitimate franchise quarterbacks. So that could be you. It won't be easy. You got the Rams tonight. Maybe you'll get a few more games too, and your receiving core is depleted, but it's not supposed to be easy, all right? So you have a chance to go out and reestablish yourself to the point that if you play well, next year, you might go into camp somewhere with a legitimate chance to start. It won't be San Francisco, Wilds. I'm sorry. It won't be San Francisco. I do think Brock is better than you, but also he's got the $265 million contract. However, you could earn a spot somewhere else if you go in there and play well. Mac Jones, yeah. I'm leaving the door open to your resurrection.
We'll take it.
That?
Wow. We'll take it. Thank you.
All right, at number 2, Dillon Gabriel and Shedeur Sanders. Now, guys, we knew this day was coming. We knew 40-year-old Joe Flacco was going to struggle. Nothing against him. It's just 40 years old. All right? And you two would get real live NFL tryouts in games. And that's what you're going to get. Dillion, you are up first. You can end this thing. If you go out there and play well, spark the offense, maybe get a few wins, even if you don't get some wins, if you just play well and give the offense a spark, we may never see Shedeur playing this season. So you have the first shot. I don't think it'll go that way, but hey, you got your chance. Shedeur, here's what you have to do. I think you will get several games worth of action. I think Gabriel will struggle to the point where they will give you your shot. Until then, you have got to make sure you know that offense backwards and forwards. I want you to get in early and leave late. I don't really want you to do any interviews either. All right, don't do any interviews. If you do, though, talk. Talk in your interviews, all right? If you do them, and just say, I'm pulling for Dillion, and actually show that you're pulling for him. I get inside. You're a human being, right? It's human nature. You want to play. But just say all the right things. I'm pulling for Dillion. He's my guy. Be supportive. Show on the sidelines, look like you're supporting him. If he does something great, give him a hand, whatever it is, all right? Even if you don't feel it, it's just the right thing to do. All right, so go ahead and do that, and then you get your shot. Dillion, we'll see. Shedeur, I definitely believe in you. Okay. All right. At number 1, C.J. Stroud. C.J., hey, what's going on?
Perfect.
I mean, Coach had you as the MVP going into last year. We all thought you were that guy. What were you? He was your MVP, right? We all thought you had a fantastic rookie season, but last year was a struggle. And what the first 3.5 games this year have been a struggle. I get it. You don't have much of an offensive line. You really haven't since you've been there, and you overcame that as a rookie. But look, good news. The second half of last week's game against Tennessee, which isn't a bad defense, you got going. You looked like the CJ of old. You had 2 touchdowns for the game, a 125 passer rating. And look, the good Lord is shining on you, CJ. Now you got it going, and here come the Ravens.
Yeah.
Here come the Ravens who, 1, don't have a good defense at this point, and 2, have 7 of their starters from that defense out. So you have a chance to go in there and really cook and not only save the Titans season, but really save your own image or position as a future up-and-coming star quarterback. CJ, you know I believe in you.
Excellent.
What a
Excellent bud list, right, Coach?
Fantastic, wasn't it? Very nice.
Thank you, Coach. It
look,
means more coming from the coach. No offense.
Oh,
but
okay.
Nice reset. I'm going to add somebody. I'm going to add Nick's favorite draft pick in the last probably 20 years, Ashton Jeanty, to the list. And when Jeanty was coming out, I had concerns. I had concerns about him catching the ball out of the backfield. I had concerns about him consistently holding up, and I had concerns about him going as high as he did in the draft. And looking at Pete Carroll's draft history, that really wasn't the way he went. But they decided to go with him, and his early games were disappointing. So then last week he switches back to his, I think he calls it his Michael Myers stance, but it is his very unique college stance, and things turned around a little bit. So he ended up with 138 yards on 21 carries, 2 receptions for 17 yards, and 3 total touchdowns. All excellent. Now, one of those runs was 64 yards. So he had a big run. And if you look at the rest of the average, 20 carries divided into the rest of the yards, they're still under 4 yards a carry, which is disappointing. Now, he's going to be facing the Colts with Jonathan Taylor, and we know everything that he's meant to the organization. If we can show his numbers versus Jonathan Taylor's numbers. So there's some comps here, but he needs to be, for the Raiders, what Jonathan Taylor is for the Colts, and what he's done for Daniel Jones, hopefully Ashton Jeanty can now do for Geno Smith. So that's I want to believe in you.
Come on, Coach. You want to run the damn ball.
I want this progression to continue. And you could say, well, maybe he's too small, but there's another guy that was the same size, and this is who they're hoping they're going to be, and that was Barry Sanders. Barry Sanders was 5'8". Barry Sanders was a little bit lighter when he came out. Now, a little bit different overall production, but that's who the Raiders are hoping he will be.
Do you coach?
That's who the Raiders. So that's who they're hoping.
They drafted him that high.
And
well, I mean, Barry Sanders might be the greatest running back.
No, I know. If he could be 3/4 of
I'm only
Barry
bringing
Sanders.
up Barry Sanders in case anybody says, well, his size, that could be a little bit issue in the NFL.
No.
They're identical sizes.
No, yeah, it's
and then
not
you've
his
got
size.
the impact that Jonathan Taylor had for
The Colts.
the Colts, and hopefully he can do that for the Raiders.
I got a question for you, Coach. Do you buy the whole stance thing?
Here's what I'll say. Just like Pete Carroll, Pete was really happy with the production he had. He changed his stance. If that's what makes him feel good, stand any way you want. You can stand on your head if you're going to get me 5 yards a carry.
I do think he can see. He said he can see the defense better. That's why he likes it.
Okay.
Because he can
'Cause he is
see
short,
the
so
way
right,
the
right.
defense is.
Okay.
When he's down like this, he can't see the way the defense is lining up. And so he said it helps. That's why he likes it.
And it's one of those things in the NFL where if a guy feels really comfortable with a certain thing and it makes him play better, at that point, it's
Yeah, I
like,
would.
Maybe it's a placebo effect.
yeah,
alone.
it could be just mentally what he
But
feels.
that makes sense.
Yeah.
If he can see better with it, it's like a guy's jump shot.
And
going in, don't change the form.
And seeing that I won't be here tomorrow, I'm going to also add a little to this.
Wow.
Coaches.
An
I
early
didn't know you weren't
upset
gonna be-
alert.
Wow.
Aston Genty
Oh, so you do believe in Genty?
and the Raiders will upset the Indianapolis Colts.
Wow.
There you go.
Great coach going for a
Coach.
10-pointer. I love it, coach.
You're trying to
Trying
end
to
it early.
extend
You guys
the
already
lead.
have a lead. You're trying to
Wow,
end it.
great
Also,
job.
So hopefully he's watching the Bud list. Hopefully he hears what I'm saying. Hopefully Gino
gave him a
doesn't
lot
turn
of
the ball
motivation.
over.
I love it, coach.
And it
Also, I didn't know you
translates
weren't
into a
gonna be
big
here.
win.
We only have a 30-minute show tomorrow.
Well, still.
Oh, that's fair then.
Yeah, you get to go see his boys play
30
ball.
minutes, that's the A block.
Yeah, exactly.
It is.
It's time. It's 4:13 on a Thursday, which means it's time, whether you like it or not, for the Sports Media Ombudsman. We're going to look through the world of sports.
That's quite the introduction, Kevin.
Taking the world by storm.
I would, before I get to it,
Oh.
a quick story about myself and kind of my journey through religion.
Wow. Here we go.
How much
Really?
time do we have?
It'll be brief, but it applies here.
Then, Brou, you do yours.
Mine's about an hour long.
So people pay good money to hear Bruce. So I was raised Roman Catholic, baptized, grew up in the Catholic Church, even went to Catholic school for the first few years of my education. However, my grandfather, my mom's dad, was Jewish. So I learned a little bit about Judaism through him. I went to temple a couple times to see what it was. And in high school, my best friend and basketball co-captain was a kid named Muhammad, who was Muslim. And one year I even fasted with him during Ramadan and went to mosque with him. And my biggest takeaway from that was two things. One was, I feel like all groups could maybe learn a little from the others, different things, and there's a lot in common. Like, there's a whole lot of overlap, which you don't always see because it seems like there's a lot of conflict amongst these groups throughout all of world history. Well, the same thing is happening right now. Sports media world, the NFL, the film watchers and the field watchers. We can learn from each other, and we don't have to be at war. I feel like watching or surveying sports media that the field watchers, the guys who just like, as Danny Parkins would say, I can see the NFL,
Sure.
sometimes take info from the film watchers or data, and it's like, oh, I didn't know that. Oh, that's interesting. Whether it be that when we look at this team and 12 tight end personnel, 12 personnel is extra effective, or this quarterback's really good with play action, it's like, oh, I'll add to it. Sadly, it does not feel like it goes in the other direction. Feels like the film watchers almost feel like they have a monopoly on football knowledge.
Oh.
And it doesn't matter how many games you can watch and be like, now is this about Lamar? A little bit. It doesn't seem like Lamar plays his best in big games. They're like, really? Small sample size right up your nose, sir. And it's more than just that, though. At its core, Brou, this is about how great Isaiah Thomas actually was. How important running the damn ball actually can be. Why a 9-inning starting pitcher in baseball actually matters. Those things, there is validity to it, even if there's not numbers to fully back it up. Yeah. So here is what I petition. We should have a summit. And guess who can be the intermediary? This guy right here.
Sports Media Ombudsman.
Yeah, I can go, because guess what? I can wear both hats. I can go do the math problems with the nerds. I can chug beers with the field watchers. I can play both sides of that coin because there is something to be learned from both sides of it. It can't just be I feel this way watching a player, and it can't just be I put in the numbers and this is what it tells me and you take none of it. So I think we could all come together a bit, turn the temperature down, as they say, and learn from each other.
I thought that was very good. Just can I add one thing to it?
Yeah.
As someone who's a field watcher, you are a nerd.
I see. I knew you were
That is not.
That's what I'm saying.
You are not in the middle. You are 90% nerd, dude.
See, that's what I'm saying. I feel like I have. My roots are in the nerddom,
Yeah.
but the nerds have abandoned me entirely. And I'm just with the field watch.
And I feel like you identified 3 different groups here: the field watchers, the film watchers, and really, aren't you talking about the number?
I feel like the film watchers and the number crunchers hang out together, and they think the field watchers don't know what they're talking
I do
about.
think there are.
Coach is
I
putting
agree
himself
with
in
Coach.
another group. People who know actually what's happening.
Yeah,
That's fair.
it's interesting.
Did you see the Spags quote on PFF?
I did. Yeah.
I thought that you were going to use it. I thought it was good.
Well, go ahead.
Well, I'm not doing
What
that.
was
but
his
I'm
quote?
Well, yeah.
He was just talking about, like, PFF does a good job putting grades on people, and usually, there's controversy on what grades people get. And Spags is like, if you don't know what the person's assignment was exactly, how could you know if they executed the assignment? I think it was like maybe it was a Chris Jones.
Well, listen, I think PFF does overall a really good job, but they have an impossible job because of the exact point they made. And also, like, their lowest rated quarterback in the league this year of 37 qualifiers is Aaron Rodgers. And I'm like, that to me just doesn't, and I'm not a Rodgers guy, that doesn't fit what I've seen.
Right.
You know what I mean? There's no world where I'm like, Bryce is playing and Jake Browning are playing much better than Rodgers. Like, it just doesn't feel that way.
I'm doing a quick Travis Hunter on the Bud list.
Nice.
We spent a lot of time talking about Travis in Colorado. We talked a lot about Travis in the draft, and now he has arrived. We talked about him preseason. What are they going to do? And now he has arrived. He's played 4 games, and I think this is the first time we've talked about him, which is a strange mix. So remember, early on, we were like, he wants to play 100% on offense, 100% on defense. And people were a little skeptical. Here's how it's played out so far. Snap percentage on offense, we are at 58%. He's got under 30.
So he's played 58% of the
of their
snaps on offense.
Okay.
And then on defense, he's at 39%. He's got 11 tackles, no interceptions. Now, the team is winning, so maybe this does work. And as a bonus, I tried to look at the next wide receiver drafted, which is Tet. So Travis got 13 catches for 118 yards. Tet has 18 catches for 278, so it's not a huge gap. The next cornerback was Barron from Texas. He's played, for the Broncos, he's only played 4 games, 74 snaps. So maybe a lot of those guys aren't getting a ton of burn, but I expected to see more of Travis, and maybe he'll get better as the season goes, Coach. He's also got the Chiefs on Monday, so this might be a little coming out party, or do you think he's just going to be suppressed?
Those numbers, if you combine them, isn't that 96%?
Well, so he's played.
Isn't that less than one player would have played on once if
So
he's
it's
played
like a
every
full
snap?
game.
Well, he's played.
Yeah.
No, he's played less than one player would on.
If you drafted a
slightly
full-time
he played 100%
player,
less, right.
at
He's
number
played,
2.
Yeah, he's played less than that.
So I do listen. I don't.
I think.
Correct. No,
Yeah,
he
yeah,
is.
yeah,
I know we have
That's
Nick here, so I
No,
think
he has I think he has played a lower percentage of snaps this year than Josh Simmons, who was the 32nd pick of the draft for the Chiefs, because he's the starting left tackle and he's played every game, everything. I was all in on Travis trying to do both. Like, why put a limit on him? It feels to me, probably having a closer eye on Jags games than most, that they are getting the worst of both worlds at the moment. That's what you were worried about. You know what I mean? That they are getting what you were worried about. That instead, that they are getting a mediocre receiver and a mediocre corner instead of, you know what I mean? And I don't think he's that. But I'm saying that's the production they're getting up to this point.
Classic one.
I just did not, for all the great athletes in this league, including the Deion Sanders, I was just like, he's that much better than all of them. None of them went full-time both ways. He's better than them. So I think his best, I don't even know if he'll be a star on one side of the ball, but I think that's his best chance to become one.
He's
I'd
also out there
try to play him 100% on defense and mix him in on offense.
like that. He's also out there just blocking.
Just throwing it out there. Maybe that'd be a good plan.
Thanks for watching. Subscribe here to get more from the show and to check out clips from other shows on FS1.